All kids like books. This story is called The Wish Tree. Landa Kalupa was the smallest place in the world to live. You could stand on the island's one and only mountain peak and see the whole country. Around the base of the mountain is the one and only village called Mistville. How did Mistville get its name, you ask? I'll tell you. Mistville is an island, so it's got water all around it. At nighttime, the mist from the ocean would creep into the village and cover everything. Mistville had more mist than anywhere else on Earth. Mistville was a very special place and not just for the mist. Because Mistville was so small, no one ever visited, or ever knew it was even there, so we had to do everything by ourselves. About once a month, the beaches would be covered in debris from random ships that sunk in the ocean. The villagers would turn it into a big event and celebrate. They would all go down to the beach at the same time and salvage whatever they could. Because there was only one lumberjack, he got all the wood. Because there was only one librarian, she got all the books, and so on and so on. There was never any fighting. Everyone got just what they needed. I am the town landscaper. I always go to the debris celebrations, but to be honest, I don't get too excited. Nothing I can use ever washes up. Until this time. I found a beautiful little box tree. I named it Sappy. The ocean had wrecked it pretty bad. All of its little branches were broken and there was only one single leaf on the whole tree. Poor Sappy, I thought. Everyone told me to leave it, that the tree was good for nothing but firewood. I didn't listen. I could see Sappy's true beauty, even though it didn't look so great now. All I wanted to do was bring that little tree home and make it all better and take really good care of it. So I did. Sappy was a very quick healer. Before the next debris celebration, he was already looking much better. All of his branches had mended, and he was just starting to get some new leaves. There was really nothing more I could do for Sappy, so I found a really nice spot and planted him in the town square. That way, I could still see him every day and check to make sure he was still growing without problems. In the years to come, Sappy grew up big and strong. He had more branches and more leaves than any other tree in Mistville. There was not a day that went by where someone didn't comment on how beautiful he was. People from all over town would come to relax and rest under the tree. The mayor even had a special bench put there so people could sit under Sappy and enjoy him. The mayor himself liked to sit under Sappy and think about town issues and how to fix them. One day, while sitting in her spot, the mayor said, "I wish I had my special hanky to wipe my face." Unfortunately, she had left hers at home. With a last sigh before getting up, she looked down on the bench and there, sitting next to her, was a brand new, in the package, special hanky. It looked exactly like the one from home. She was so surprised and grateful that after she used it, she forgot to wonder where it came from and how it got there. Strange little things like that did not just happen to the mayor, but to the butcher, the baker, and the laundress as well. They all had similar things happen to them, but not one of them thought to say anything. It was time for one of only 2 town meetings that happen all year. The meetings are all the same, nothing new ever happens. It's always, who will clean the well this year, when was the best time to change the town clock, the rabbits have gone crazy, where are the dogs, who has seen the cats. Believe me, 2 meetings a year for this stuff was 1 meeting too many. I'd like to say it was me who stood up and said it, but it was not. In the back of the meeting, little Susie R. Freckless stood up on her chair, and in a quiet voice, almost too quiet to hear, she said, "I wish that all our town problems were solved. That meetings like this would not happen again unless it was an emergency." The wind started to blow. Suddenly, the cats scattered out from under all the chairs. The dogs came running through the back door and chased the cats. The bunny stopped hopping around like crazy. The well was clean. The clock had changed its own time. With nothing left to discuss, the meeting came to an end, and the mayor said, "Let that be the last meeting until there is an emergency." Everyone went home. Over the next few days, one by one, the townspeople began to realize that little Susie R. Freckless' wish had come true. It started with the baker, who remembered his and Susie's wish, then the butcher, and the laundress. After a week, everyone but the mayor had figured out that the tree I had saved, cared for, and planted was more than just a beautiful tree. It was, in fact, a wishing tree. Lineups started at the tree. Everyone, every day, wished for something else. They wished for all sorts of things: new cars, new houses, lots of money, TVs, boats, and more. No one thought to wish for world peace, or to keep everyone full of food and healthy. The only 2 people who did not make a wish were the mayor, who still did not know about the wishing tree, and me. I had nothing to wish for. I was just happy to look at Sappy. The mayor was starting to get angry because she could not get to her special seat to think, and the noise from the gathered townspeople was making it hard for her to work. Finally, she stuck her head out the window and asked, "What is happening?" The townspeople explained the wishing tree. The mayor was astounded. She waited until everyone was asleep that night, and walked out from her office into the thick mist, and made her way to the wishing tree. She sat down and said to the tree, "Tree, I wish to be the best, most famous, longest living, richest mayor ever." She waited and waited, but nothing happened. The mayor went to bed. The next morning, not a single wish was granted. The whole town started to cry. The mayor announced that there would be an emergency meeting to discuss this wishless wishing tree. At the meeting, everyone was yelling and crying. The mayor quieted everyone down. She announced that she would solve all their problems. If the wishing tree would not start granting wishes again, then she would have it cut down and turned into a new desk for her office. She gave the tree 1 week to change its ways. All week, people wished and wished and wished. After 7 days, exactly 0 wishes were granted. The mayor ordered the town lumberjack to bring his biggest axe and cut down the tree. She had the town carpenter make some measurements for her new desk and get ready for the wood from the wishing tree. When the lumberjack arrived with his axe, I was in the town square. I had tears in my eyes. I could not believe they were going to cut down my beautiful little Sappy. The little tree that washed ashore so long ago, the tree that I cared for, that I loved, and that I planted. I watched as the lumberjack raised his biggest axe high above his head, swing it around, and just before he started to bring it down towards Sappy, my tears dried up. I screamed at the top of my lungs, "Stop!" I screamed so loud that the birds on Mount Mistville jumped into the air. The lumberjack dropped his axe in fright, and the villagers all moved away from me. I planted this giant, beautiful tree for everyone to enjoy, to sit under its shade, to play around, to give us a place to relax and to think. Sappy still does that, even if wishes are not being granted. It's not the tree's fault you all became greedy and stopped caring about the tree. The tree only started granting wishes because I alone on this island saw its beauty, and I alone cared for it when everyone else told me to throw it away. Sappy was just showing love to you, like I showed love to it. I wish that everything would just go back to the way things were before all the wishes. The wind started to blow. The lumberjack and his axe disappeared, and so did the mayor. The townspeople all went back to their homes. The rabbits started hopping around like crazy, and no one could find the cats or dogs. Sappy had listened to my one and only wish. The lumberjack was found safe and sound in his lumber yard, and the mayor was found in her office. The well was eventually cleaned, and the clock was eventually changed. Everything went back to the way it was. Every now and then, some people still make wishes at the tree, but nothing happens. All that is left are the memories of a special wishing tree. To me, Sappy is special, even without the wishes. The tree still shades all those who choose to sit under it on hot summer days, and it still rains colors in the fall. And that is why Mistville is special for more than just fog. The end. The moral of this story: if you don't speak up for what you believe in, then someone will most definitely take it away.